Welcome students. Let us start once again mathematical logic. I am Tushar Patil, lecturer in mathematics. Part 3. Today we are going to learn quantifiers. There are two types of quantifiers. The first one is there exist. It has symbol like this. It is known as existential quantifier. I take one example. There exists x belonging to n such that x plus 1 is equal to 2. For the set of natural numbers n, 1, 2, 3 and so on, the meaning of there exists is that there is at least one element in this set of natural numbers. When it is added to 1, we get the sum 2. See, there is the element 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. There is no other element for which this condition is satisfied. Therefore, this is the existential quantifier. Second, universal quantifier. It means that for all, the symbol is like this, symbol of for all. Take one example. For all x belonging to n, x is an integer. It means every natural number is an integer, and this condition is satisfied in the set of natural numbers. Therefore, this is known as a universal quantifier. The next thing is quantified statements. Quantified statements. Of course, a sentence which contains existential quantifier or universal quantifier, it is known as a quantified statement. A statement containing there exists or for all one of these two quantifiers is known as a quantified statement. Let us learn about truth value of a quantified statement. Truth value. The first one is a statement containing there exists. It means existential quantifier. A statement containing there exists symbol is true when at least one of the element in the collection is true for at least one of the element in the collection, and remaining elements it may not be true or false. It may be true or false. I'm sorry. The next one is universal quantifier is truth value. For all, a statement containing universal quantifier is true only when all the elements of the collection satisfy the given condition. And the first one, I repeat, the statement containing there exists is true when at least one of the element in the collection satisfies the given condition. Let's take one example. Let a set A is like this. The first statement is there exists X belonging to A such that X plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8. See, what is to check here? Is there at least a single element in the set A which satisfies this condition? बघा आता त्या एलिमेंटमध्ये 7 ॲड केला की येणारी सम जी आहे ती 8 इतकी पाहिजे किंवा 8 पेक्षा मोठी पाहिजे. सी, there is only one element 1 in this set. When it is added to 7, 1 plus 7 we get is equal to 8. Therefore, for the element 1 this condition is satisfied. Therefore, this statement is true for this special quantified statement. So, truth value is capital T. For remaining elements, take any element. Take 6. 6 plus 7 greater than or equal to 8. 2 plus 7, 9 greater than or equal to 8. So, including 1, all the elements of the set satisfy this condition. Therefore, at least one element also satisfies the condition, and therefore the statement is true, and its true value is capital T. Second, for all X belonging to A, X minus 3 is less than or equal to 10. See, आता आपण चेक करूया ही कंडिशन सॅटिस्फाय होते का. X, take any element X. Take 4. 4 minus 3, 1, it is less than 10. Take 8. 8 minus 3, it is 5 less than or equal to 10. Take any element of the set. The first one is here. Say 1 minus 3, it is minus 2 less than or equal to 10. So, for every element of the set, this condition is satisfied. Therefore, it is true. बघा ह्या दोन मध्ये आपण काय चेक करायचं मी पुन्हा रिपीट करतो. हा सेट जो ए आहे ह्या सेट मधल्या किमान एका एलिमेंटला पहिल्या स्टेटमेंट मध्ये किमान एक देर एक्झिस्ट ही कंडिशन सॅटिस्फाय व्हायला पाहिजे. म्हणजे काय, यातल्या कुठल्या एका एलिमेंटला किमान त्यामध्ये 7 ॲड केला की येणारी सम जी आहे ती 8 इतकी पाहिजे किंवा 8 पेक्षा मोठी पाहिजे, आणि असं प्रत्येक एलिमेंटला होते. त्यामुळे हे ट्रू आहे. सेकंड कंडिशन काय म्हणते, फॉर ऑल युनिव्हर्सल क्वांटिफायर, प्रत्येक एक्सला या सेटमधल्या प्रत्येक एलिमेंटला त्यातून 3 मायनस केला की येणारी सम जी आहे 10 पेक्षा लहान पाहिजे. सी 1 minus 3, it is minus 2 less than 10. Take bigger element, the biggest element in the set. 8 minus 3, 5, it is less than 10. Therefore, for every element of the set A, it is true. Therefore, truth value is capital T. Take third example. For all x belonging to A, x square is greater than or equal to 9. See what happens here. Take any element. This condition must be satisfied for each element of the set A. Take 4, x equal to 4. What is 4 square? It is 4 square is equal to 16. What is the condition? It is not true here. 16 हे 9 पेक्षा मोठे नाही आहेत. So this is false for at least one element. So it is not true for all the elements of the set A. Therefore, truth value is capital F. This is how we can check truth values of the quantified statements in the given set. Next point घेतो बरं का. Now let us learn the next topic, dual. Let us learn the next topic, dual. Before understanding what is the meaning of dual, we know that this is the symbol for and or a symbol like this. Small c, it is contradiction. Small t, it is tautology. So using these four symbols, we can study the meaning of dual. See, two statements are said to be duals of each other if each of them can be obtained by replacing and by or and c by t. Or we can say two statements are said to be duals of each other if one of them is obtained from the second by replacing or by and t by c. Take one example. Statement: negation p and q or c. What is its dual? See, what is the definition? आपली व्याख्या काय आहे? ड्युअल म्हणजे काय? तर ज्या स्टेटमेंटमध्ये अँड आहे त्याऐवजी ऑर लिहायचा, ऑर ऐवजी अँड लिहायचा, स्मॉल सी ऐवजी स्मॉल टी लिहायचा. सो ड्युअल इज लाइक दिस: negation p, replace and by or, q or by and c by t. So this is the dual of the statement. Take one more example. q and t or c. See, what is dual? Replace and by or, t by c, or by and, c by t. So there are four changes. So dual is q, replace and by or, t by c, or by and c by t. So this is the dual of the statement. I repeat, दोन स्टेटमेंट्स जे आहेत ते एकमेकांचे ड्युअल कधी असतात? जर पहिल्या स्टेटमेंटमधला अँड किंवा ऑर, अँड हा ऑरने रिप्लेस करायचा, ऑर हा अँडने रिप्लेस करायचा, सी हा टीने रिप्लेस करायचा, टी हा सीने रिप्लेस करायचा, अँड वी गेट द ड्युअल ऑफ द ओरिजिनल स्टेटमेंट. द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज for the statement, it means implication. P implies Q. We have three types of statements. The first one is converse of P implies Q. It is Q implies P. Second, inverse of P implies Q. It is negation P implies negation Q. And third one is contrapositive of P implies Q. It is negation Q implies negation P. These all are again the implications which are obtained from the original implication P implies Q. Let us take one example. Let statement is like this: P implies Q. If a function is differentiable then it is continuous. See, we can differentiate P implies Q into two parts. Here P is a function is differentiable. A function is differentiable. And the second part is after then it is continuous. Call it as Q. Q, a function. It is once again a function is continuous. The given statement is of the form if then. It is implication, conditional. So how to write it first? New statement, that is converse. The first one is converse. Converse of P implies Q. It is Q implies P. Now to write in verbal form, what is Q here? Second part, a function is continuous. What is P? A function is differentiable. So Q implies P, use if then and reverse it only. So how to write? Write first Q. If. It is if Q then P. So it is if. In verbal form, what is Q? A function is continuous. Then second part, write P, then write it is differentiable. Writing a function once again, it is better to write it is differentiable. A function is continuous, then it is differentiable. In Marathi we call it as व्यत्यास. आपण व्यत्यास लिहायचो स्टेटमेंटचा जर तर मध्ये, तसं हे स्टेटमेंट आहे कॉन्व्हर्स. सेकंड वन, inverse of P implies Q. It is negation P implies negation Q. That is, if negation P, then negation Q. Its verbal form. What is first? If. Negation P. What is P? A function is differentiable. What is its negation? A function is not differentiable. So write negation first. P, a function, if a function is not differentiable. Very good. Then it is, we can say it is not, it is other than writing a function, it is not continuous. Similarly, the last one, contrapositive. Of P implies Q, it is of the form negation Q implies negation P. That is, if negation Q, then negation P. It is quite easy now. आता फार सोपं झालं हे. What is its verbal form? First, if negation Q, what is Q? A function is continuous. Negation Q, a function is not continuous. Like this, if a function is not continuous, then it is correct. It is not differentiable. It is not differentiable. This is how we learn converse, inverse, and contrapositive of the implication P implies Q. See what is important here? Everywhere there is an implication. Now let us check the truth tables of all these four. Truth tables. So first is P, second is Q. P implies Q, Q implies P. Next one is negation P, next one is negation Q. Negation P implies negation Q, negation Q implies negation P. Let us check what is the relation between the truth tables of all these four. What is the column of T? As usual, T, T, F, F. Column Q, T, F, T, F. Very good, T, F, T, F. P implies Q. What is the characteristic of P implies Q? याचं वैशिष्ट्य काय असतं? फर्स्ट T आणि सेकंड F असेल, पहिला T दुसरा F असेल तरच ते F असतं. It is true otherwise. Now Q implies P. Q implies P. Now Q is first, P is second. See, first is T for Q, second is F, so it is F. In remaining three cases it is true. Negation P, P, T, T, F, F, negation F, F, T, T. Negation Q, F, T, F, T. Now, negation P implies negation Q. Implication of these two once again. When there is first T, second F, it is F. In remaining three cases, it is true. Negation Q implies negation P. Reverse it. Negation Q implies negation P. First T, second F, it is F. It is true in other three cases. Now observe the table of these four. Column number 3, 4, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, this is the original implication. P implies Q. Fourth column, Q implies P. It is its converse. Q implies P. Seventh column, negation P implies negation Q. It is inverse. And the last 8th column, negation Q implies negation P, it is contrapositive. Now let us check the truth tables of all these four. See which tables, which columns are identical. See column 3, T, F, T, T, and column 8, T, F, T, T. The entries in the column 3 and the column 8 are identical. Therefore we can say that using logical equivalence, P implies Q is logically equivalent to negation Q implies negation P. Column 3 and column 8 are identical. Similarly, check column 4, Q implies P, T, T, F, T. Column 7, T, T, F, T. Column 4 and column 7 are identical. Therefore, we can say that Q implies P is logically equivalent to negation P implies negation Q. This is the activity in the textbook. We have completed it. So what we learned today: quantifiers, quantified statements, dual and converse, inverse, contrapositive of the implication P implies Q. So in the lecture tomorrow, in tomorrow's lecture, we will learn switching circuits, application of logic to switching circuits. There are parallel and series combinations, and using the application of logic, how we use the application of logic in switching circuits, we are going to learn tomorrow. Thank you.